The last category of math that you're going to see quite often will be what I would call a percentage problem. And it comes in various forms. You could have a loss, you could have a gain, but a real common one is commission. Okay, so if you're having a loss, they'll say that so-and-so sold a property for $80,000, which represented a loss of 20% over what they paid for it. And they say, what did he pay for the property? You want to know, what did he pay for the property 2 or 3 years ago before the market retraced a little bit and he had to sell it for 80 and he lost 20%. What was that? Well, to get these, it's real simple. You have to take this number here that they give you, which is what he sold it for, not what he paid for it, and you have to divide this number by the percentage that it represents of the whole. Now, when I say the whole, what he paid for it was 100%. He paid all of it 100% in order to buy it a couple of years ago. We don't know what that number is, but we do know that if he lost 20%, then this number represents 80% of that. 80% of that. Why? How do we know? Because he lost 20%. So we divide this by 80%, changing it to a decimal equivalent, dividing that into that, and coming up with $100,000. Okay? Real simple. Now to work it the other way, using the simple numbers again, so-and-so sold a property for $120,000, which represented a 20% gain, not 20% loss, but 20% gain, what they paid for the property. Well, this number now is everything they paid for the property, 100%, plus a 20% gain, which would equal 120%. And don't get scared by these numbers that have other numbers past the 1 here. It works the same way. Roll that decimal over. So you divide this by 120%, decimal equivalent, and he paid how much? He paid $100,000 for it. Now, commissions are a little bit tricky because they're counterintuitive. You always have to divide a commission in. You can't just multiply a number and then add a commission on. Let me illustrate with a real quick example. Let's say you want to charge a 6% commission total, but a seller wants to sell his property. He wants to net $100,000 after paying sales cost of, let's say, $18,000. Okay, that will be the cost. Now the cost, not including commission, the cost would be maybe a lien he had on the property for a mechanic's lien, and you could add all those up, or it could be closing costs, repairs, whatever, okay? But he's going to suffer or have to pay costs totaling $18,000, and then he wants to net $100,000 after he pays your 6% commission. You just got to add all this together. It's not that difficult, so let's look at it this way. Okay, so he wants to net $100,000, so he better collect another $18,000 to pay all those other costs, correct? So he's going to have to add that in. Plus he's going to have to add in a what? 6% commission. Now, if you look at this, these are easy to add in, just plus that, but you can't add in a percentage. So what are you going to do? Well, you move this percentage off to the side for a minute, and you come up with $118,000 here, and this number then would represent what of the mystery number? Well, the mystery number will be all of it. This is what he's got to sell it for. It'll be 100%. But the only thing we're missing here now is the commission, right, which we've got to add on. So this number would equal what? 94%. Because 94% of this number plus the 6% commission is what he's got to sell it for, correct? So to get this, a lot of students will just multiply this by 6 and add on to 6. You're going to be a few dollars short, and you're going to miss the question. I don't want you to do that. So what I want you to do is turn this into a decimal equivalent here, and then divide in, and that will give you the number you need. And in this case, you take $118,000 and you divide it by the 94%. That's what I mean by dividing a commission in. And he's got to sell his house for no less than $125,532. If he sells it for less than this, he's not going to net his $100,000 here.